Hi, everyone. It's Dan and Angela Clark with Heart to Heart.
Hey.
So listen, I wanted to talk to you about the 12-step group. We did a video just the other day about joining 12-step groups as opposed to going to churches when you first get out of the Jehovah's Witnesses or any cult like the Worldwide Church of God. For me, it feels much better to me to start out there as opposed to maybe necessarily choosing another church right away. There's a lot of things we kind of realize, what we come to realize, that we need a little bit of help processing everything, getting some of the emotions under control, learning how to deal with all of it. And these 12-step groups, so there's all kinds of 12-step groups. That's what this is all about. There's the Celebrate Recovery, which is kind of a Christian 12-step. And if you don't mind the Christian, I wasn't super crazy about it as opposed to like a regular 12-step that goes by the 12-step rules, because there were I want to say a hierarchy, because you got positions and then everybody wasn't the same equal in there's no power.
There's leadership plays. There's a guy who's the leader, right, and he has a badge and he's the head. And
that's Celebrate Recovery. And in regular
same principles though, right? Same 12.
Yeah, pretty much anyway. Now the regular 12-step is just straight across the board. No one's in charge. Really, what you'd have to do is you'd have to go to AA, Alanon, or you'd want to go to CODA, which is Codependent Anonymous, or one of the other ones. There's all kinds of anonymous groups, but I like Codependent Anonymous, so it's CODA, C-O-D-A. There are not a lot of them around, so you might end up having to go to an Alanon meeting, which is just, it could be that you have been under the control of a controlling person, some sort of an addict, maybe a religious addict, a gambler, a sex addict. It could be any of those things you've been under the influence of, and you need to get these basic tools that you find in there. It's really the same as the 12-step groups, only it's just it's specifically to help you overcome being in those kind of environments, so that you can learn how to deal with it. The basic 12-step I like, because you have to work the steps, the 12 steps, and that's where you're doing your overcoming work. You get a what do you call it, accountability partner that helps you to make sure you're making progress and getting through the whole thing, and keeps you accountable, and so that you can really get better. So I really like that a lot. So I want to let you know, some of the 12-step groups I was in were not healthy. They were not doing the rules. Like, for example, there's you don't even laugh. And so you go around this table, everybody gets to share for a certain amount of time. Usually it's 3 minutes or 5 minutes. And then when your time's up, you pass the timer to the next person, and then it goes around the table. And then when you're done speaking, your time's up, everyone just says, "Thank you, Angela." And then they pass it on. And they don't laugh. They don't joke. They don't make funny looks. They don't say anything. Nope. And after the meeting's over, they are not allowed to talk about anything that you said in that 5 minutes. Even if you have 2 times around, sometimes you get to talk another 5 minutes. They're not allowed to say anything unless you go to them and you say, "Hey, that can I talk to you about that I mentioned today?" You have to bring it up for them to be allowed to say anything to you about it. They're not allowed to fix you. And it's a lovely rule. It's part of the codependent problems, is what you're trying to fix everybody all the time, instead of saving your own skin and your own body and your own life, and quit trying to fix everybody, because you got
nobody
your own
likes
problems.
A person trying to fix you all the time.
No.
Here, let me tell you how to fix you. Here, let me tell you what to do here.
Right.
It's kind of like a one-up, they call it.
Yeah, that's true. But I hate it, but some people really do want that, but most of us really don't. Most of us really don't.
We just want to heal and tell our story and put it out there in the middle of the group.
Right.
It's like putting your stuff in the middle of the group and leaving it there.
Right.
It's like you can say anything you want. Just put it out there. This is what happened to me. I went through this. It was a rough time. I was religiously abused. That's it. Thanks, Dan.
And sometimes people just say, "Pass. Once it goes around the table, they don't want to talk. Pass. I don't want to talk tonight. I just want to listen." But what's cool is you get to listen to other people's stories, and you realize that you're not alone, that other people have gone through similar things. And that's where you might even go to that person saying, "Can I talk to you about something that I've gone through that's similar?" And make sure you don't talk about what they said, but you could say, "I kind of feel like you might be able to relate to this, and what would you do?" And you're allowed to do that, but they're not allowed to say anything unless you're asking them to. And so it's kind of cool. And but anyway, like I said, some people in these groups are not healthy. And one time I went and told my story for the very first time. I was a brand new guest, and everybody started laughing. So obviously that's not a healthy group, because you're not allowed to have a reaction. I didn't mind, because I thought, well, my story's pretty dang crazy. That's for sure. I can understand why they're laughing, and it was okay with me. But other people would just run out crying and like, oh my God, and it was totally wrong. And anyway,
Most groups aren't like that, though.
no,
Most groups are pretty well constructed,
they are.
because the person that's in the chair, they've been through the 12 steps, so they keep order. It's like order, like, shut your mouth, don't
Right.
crosstalk, do not crosstalk.
Right.
Crosstalk is when somebody across the room says, hey, I know I know how to help you. You go, no, there's none of that. So it's kind of a beautiful
crosstalk,
thing.
right? You're not allowed to interrupt anyone at any time. So I love the rules, because they keep you kind of safe. And you're not allowed to speak to about any of it when you leave the group. It's forbidden. What is
It's
here
not a pickup
stays
joint.
here.
They'll tell you that this is not a pickup
Yeah,
joint.
right. You do not.
People do meet people there, and
They do, but
you
you're
know.
not supposed to. They don't want you to do that. So anyway, I think it's a great place to start. And then here's the thing. If you're an atheist right now, you might have a little trouble, just to be honest with you, because they do believe that you need to acknowledge a higher power to help you. And so they're not religious, but they are encouraging you to turn to a higher power, because your life has become unmanageable, and you're turning to a higher power who will help you get out of insanity. I guess that's what they say in CODA.
It's kind of God as you see it. It's
Right.
like, you can say spirit, Holy Spirit, higher power, higher self. It don't
Yeah,
matter.
but they want you to believe in a higher power. So if you're an atheist, you might be a little uncomfortable in there. So they don't push religion. It's not like that, but they talk about, turning to your higher power. And again, you can call your higher power whatever you want, but there's many people in the 12 step that calls it their higher power. And so some people even say their higher self, but anyway, that works for you. So anyway, it's a good place to start. And then you can kind of move out from there. At least you get support. You feel supported, you feel heard, you feel validated. Wonderful things. So I just want to let you know there's many kind of experiences. I had many different kind of experiences in the different kind of 12-step groups that I was involved in. I think I got a lot of work done in Celebrate Recovery, but I didn't like the titles and badges that different people would get. Kind of mess things up a little bit. I really didn't like that. And a couple other things I didn't like, the Christian 12-step, but there's some things I did like. So it's all about what you want. But
Find one.
Right, but so just to let you know, there's many choices about all of that. All right, so I hope that helped you. CODA, Alanon, AA, right, 12-step groups, just plain 12-step groups. Okay,
There's lots of them usually in your area. At least
and
3 or
different
4.
kind of churches have them, So anyway, all right, that's it, guys. We love you. We just want you to feel supported. Know
That's
that there's
right.
a place to turn. You don't have to go to church if you don't
That's right.
want to. There's someplace else that's not going to push a religion down your throat at all.
And we need healing.
Yeah, we
do
do.
need healing. And sometimes we need because we've only had a religious perspective, we need another perspective.
Yes, that's right. So check it out, okay? Especially the 12 steps. All right. Thanks, guys.
All right.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.